Men are being arrested for becoming passport bros. A lot of this is happening because of modern women. Modern women are furious with the passport kings. They see all the success that these men are having overseas. They don't like it, and they are literally using lies and whatever they can come up with to try to get these men arrested, thrown in jail. It's happening, unfortunately, some in some cases. Let's jump into this video. You can basically see how salty these women absolutely are. They are salty and they are so bitter.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time before one of these passport bros are arrested, tried, and found guilty and given a harsh sentence. Yeah, and it's going to be super hilarious when they start calling for social justice warriors to stand up and unite on their behalf. Because the hilarious thing is that it's typically black women who are standing up on black men's behalf and asking for justice.
You see how sick these people are? You could see the illness in their face. These women, they want men thrown in jail, especially black men. Black women want black men thrown in jail because these men are walking away from Western society, walking away from relationships in Western society and finding better for themselves overseas. You often see a lot of white women also coming out, and they are furious. They're even going after black men for this. And what it is that these are the white women that often get into relationships with Tyrones and Pookies and Ray Rays, and these guys, they get to clap, and then after that happens, not even the men in their own communities, from their communities, want them anymore. So they want a black step up dad to step in and take care of Pookie's children, take care of Tyrone's children. So now he can walk around like those are his kids. Those are not his kids. Those are not his kids. Okay? So they're upset. They're angry. They're angry that these men are also leaving because these are the men that they would be relying upon. And of course, they want these men thrown in jail because if they can't have you, no one can. You can see the evil in their eyes. You can see the devilishness in their eyes.
Enough about how passport bros are just predators.
So is this what we're doing now? We're calling these passport bros predators? Really? Like, really? Come on now. Just because these men want to go with their passports to go find a lovely woman out of this country does not make them a predator. Were they a predator when they went somewhere else to find a woman in the United States? No, nobody was calling them a predator then. Look up the definition of predator and stop trying to call these men out their name for no reason. The only reason, I'm going to say it, the only reason women are getting mad about passport bros is because they're not getting picked. Hence the word pick me. Makes sense, right? Yep.
Yeah, no, she said it perfectly. She said it perfectly. These women are completely salty. They are 100% salty. They had no respect for these men. They disrespected these men, and now they are mad at these men. They are big mad, big mad at these men. You know, and anytime something happens, like or they hear that a passport king got control all deleted, they start celebrating because they despise us so much. They despise men walking away so much. It infuriates them. It infuriates them seeing these men leave and do better for themselves because these are the men that they've been taken advantage of. These are the men that they've been using to supplement their income, to provide for their children. And now these men are saying, no, not us anymore. I have so many men in my comments, and this is sad, talking about children, how they raise kids that weren't even theirs. And some of these kids absolutely despise them. And it's like, I don't know, like I made the mistake of doing. I'm not gonna lie. You know what? I got myself almost mixed up in that whole step up dad nonsense. Dealing with children that weren't mine. Like, oh, I could have a family like this. No, you, dude, those kids aren't yours. Those kids do not belong to you, and they may make it feel that way because they don't have a proper father in their life. But those kids are not yours. And you need to wake up and realize that kid is not yours. If you adopt a child and you raise that child, that's your kid. If you adopt a kid, that's your kid. However, let's make this clear. If you simply marry, and this is, if you adopt a child and you raise that child, that's yours. But if you marry a woman who's not, that has children, even if you adopt her children and raise her children as your own, the unfortunate truth is they still will never fully think of you as their father. Sometimes they do. It doesn't matter. But their father is always out there. Versus like a child who is adopted, they know who their father is. They know that you are their father. You're the person who took them, raised them, loved them, and cared for them. So even if they have questions, a lot of times they know exactly who their father was, or they don't even want to know that. They don't even want to know because they were abandoned. All right, you were abandoned, and that's not always the case. But in many cases, you were given up. Mommy and daddy didn't want you. Okay, so there's really no going back on that. But outside of that, no. Stepping up and getting involved with a child that's not yours. I think about all the relationships that that have failed for me, and then I look back though, and I think I was fortunate that those relationships did not work out. And now I can see the red flags. Now I can see when I can look back at some relationships and say, this girl was never truly interested in me. She was just trying to take advantage of me, put me in the friend zone, or use me as a plan B guy. That's what women are doing. They basically line a bunch of guys up, put them in the zone, and then keep them there. And then they pick the winner. They pick the winner while they're out in the streets and getting the back blown out by Chad and Tyrone. They have all these guys in the friend zone, and then they pick the winner. And it's sad because what do you win? You get Chad and Tyrone's leftovers. You get their leftovers. In some cases, guess what? You get to be a step-up dad now, not stepdad, step-up dad. You're stepping up. It's a sad, sad thing. It's a very, very sad thing. And that's why these women are so furious. That's why these women are going after these kings. Because they see that these kings are walking away. They see that these kings are doing better for themselves. They see what's happening and it infuriates them. It breaks their evil little hearts. They can't sleep at night.
So the passport bros is gaining more and more popularity, and honestly the ladies are not happy about it. And one of the reasons I think it's getting so much pushback from women is because what this is going to mean is that ladies are not going to just have more competition. They're going to have more competition when it comes to dating and mating. There's going to be more options available for men, and I think for many ladies that just makes them feel a little bit uneasy, if I'm just being honest. First of all, the idea of dating and mating being competitive in general is not anything that we grew up hearing. A lot of women grew up hearing they're the prize, they just have to be, and the man will just magically show up, that, their presence isn't up. Like we heard these things. And so the idea of competing, or the idea of, making yourself available, or different, things that you would do to make yourself desirable to another partner is very foreign, especially for Black women. And so now fast forward and you have this whole group of men that are saying, hey, you aren't willing to work with us. Fine, we're going to go abroad and find women who are. It's like a mixture of shock and disdain and disgust. And how dare you do this? Like, you're going to make us have to compete? How dare you? So the thing is, I don't think it's going anywhere. I legitimately do not think that this movement is going anywhere. If anything, I think it's going to grow. And this is just the way of the economy of the world. So many things are globalized. Jobs being one of them, different career opportunities, and of course, relationships is going to be one of them. So I just think it's making a lot of women uneasy. And the good news is, if you are a good woman, whether you in the USA or you are in, Europe, or you are in Asia, Africa, whatever, if you're a good woman, there's going to be no shortage of men who really want to, be with you.
Now, one of the things about that is she's not saying what she's saying is not intent. It's not completely incorrect, but here's one of the problems. A lot of men will look at so-called good women and they will pass over them in Western society for a number of reasons. A lot of guys will say, "Oh well, yeah, this woman looks like a good woman," but their brain is going to say, "Yeah," and there are a ton of simps that are going to go and fight over this one woman. No man today wants to go and fight a man, argue with some other man over a woman. It's like unacceptable. I'm not going to go and compete for this woman. If she has a bunch of other suitors, they can have her. Like this is the 100% attitude of men today. If you have a woman in Western society, there are so many simps that are willing to compete and absolutely go ballistic and just be completely. These guys are disgusting. And then there are so many risks that you face as a man just getting into a relationship with a woman because, like, what is a good woman? What actually is a good woman? Because so many men married these so-called good women, and their lives were destroyed anyway. So a lot of men are just not taking the risk. Less than one out of every 1,000 men are now getting married. Less than one out of every 1,000 men, and some of y'all are still saying that's still one too many because that means some men are still getting married. I'm like, bro, it's less than one. That means that means that some men are still getting married. Okay, until it's none, then we have not one. Y'all are real bad. Y'all are real bad. I'm not gonna lie, y'all are really really bad. By the way, don't forget that I have a channel called Angry where I discuss gaming, anime, geek stuff, nerd stuff, real world stuff, and whatever else interested me. You can find a link to that channel in the description of the video. I have a bunch of content over there. So you can go over there, subscribe to the channel, support my work. I also have another channel called Men Walking Away, and this channel is just focusing on more of videos like the one you're watching right now. So if you're enjoying this content and you want more of this content, you can just head over there, subscribe to the channel, and support my work. And you can find links to both of those channels in the description of the video. What do you guys think regarding this? Men are being arrested for becoming passport bros, passport kings, going, leaving the country, going around the world, doing better for themselves. Women absolutely do not like this. They're furious seeing these men do better for themselves. So they're, of course, calling these men all kinds of names, saying that these men are going over there for the wrong reasons because they want these men arrested. They want these men thrown in jail. They want the lives of these men destroyed. What do you guys think about this? I want to hear your thoughts on this in the comments. So like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, Men Walking Away, and cheers.